Hello there, and welcome to Whispers to Sleep. My name is David, and I'm truly honored to be your guide tonight. Here we believe sleep is not just a routine. It's a gentle journey, a quiet return to peace every night. I craft stories with care, so your mind can rest and your body can soften all you need to do. Take a slow deep breath in, and as you breathe out, allow the day to melt away. Close your eyes. Get cozy under the covers and let my voice lead you into calm, into comfort, into dreams. This is your time. Your memento, truly relax. Let's begin. The first sound you notice is not loud. It doesn't startle. It doesn't demand. It arrives like a memory, soft, ancient, and slow. The hush of a wave folding into the shore, and then the silence between. That is where you begin. You stand. At the edge of the sea, your feet warmed by the sun-baked sand and cooled by the brushing tide. The rhythm is gentle. It doesn't hurry you. In, pause, out. Pause. The same rhythm your breath slowly matches without thinking. This is no accident. Your body, though surrounded by the modern world, still remembers the pulse of the ocean. It listens, not with ears alone, but with bones, with nerves, with the gentle clock ticking behind your eyes. You close them, and the sound grows richer. There is the main crash, the wave itself, but also the scattering hiss of foam, the echo of retreat, and the high sparkle of water dripping from rock. Layer upon layer, a lullaby of pressure and distance. These are sound waves, movements, of energy through water, through air, through you. Some are too low to hear, others too high. But your body is tuned to the middle, where the ocean hums, the breeze whispers, and your own heartbeat lives. You may not notice, but your brain does. It hears the low frequencies and soft irregularities and begins to shift its rhythm. Neurons pulse slower, stress chemicals soften. Your nervous system responds as if it has found a signal of safety, a message older than language. You can rest here. This is entrainment. Just as two clocks near each other begin to sync, your body begins to follow the slow, deliberate rhythm of the sea. Your heart rate lowers. Your breathing deepens. Your mind, once a storm of thoughts, becomes a tide pool. Clear, shallow, and still. You sit now, toes buried in the warm sand, letting the sound wrap around you. Some waves come closer, others break farther out. This randomness is not chaos, it is complexity. Like music played with no conductor, yet perfectly in tune. And so your mind releases its need for structure. It follows the ocean's guidance. Soft variation, rolling cadence, the comfort of imperfection. You recall the term white noise, a blend of frequencies so broad and gentle. It becomes the sound of everything and nothing. Ocean waves are like that. They blur edges. They give your senses permission to blur too. And what is sleep, if not a softening of boundaries? The line between night and day, between thinking and dreaming, begins to dissolve. The waves do not command sleep. They invite it. The tide continues. Its slow exhale, leaving behind foam like lace. Each retreat leaves you more grounded, more still. The world has not disappeared. It has only become quieter. You are not gone. You are becoming dot as you breathe in. The breeze carries salt. And time. As you breathe out, the tension in your chest fades into the open sky. You listen, not for words, but for patterns. And your mind, ever curious, begins to wonder, why does the sea feel like home? Why does its song, which never changes, feel new? Each time, it is because of harmony. The waves are not alone. They blend with the heartbeat of Earth itself, a symphony of wind, water, gravity, and sun. And as you listen longer, your body becomes part of it. A part of you remembers being rocked. As a child, Not by arms, but by motion, side to side, gently repeating. That motion, too, created waves. Tiny ones, but just as calming. The human brain finds safety in repetition. Not in monotony, but in predictable change. The wave always comes back. Even if you miss it, even if you forget, it returns. Always dot. And so, your mind lets go. Just a little. It allows thought to loosen, breath to deepen, and heart to soften. Not everything must be solved. Some things, like waves, are meant only to be felt dot. As your body leans gently back, the sand receives you like memory. The sound of the sea no longer comes from out there. It seems to echo from within. You notice how every sound carries a weight, a pressure in the air. Even silence has a vibration. And this vibration, this subtle pulse, is part of how your brain knows when it's time to sleep. Circadian rhythms, governed by light and temperature, are also tuned by sound. The sea, like the sun, is a keeper of time dot, and just as day fades slowly into night, you begin to slip, not away, but inward. Inward, toward the quiet places where rest begins. The waves don't stop. They carry you. Farther from the beach, but closer to calm. You hear them still, softer now, as if from underwater, or perhaps from inside your mind, where rhythm becomes breath, and breath becomes stillness. Stillness is not absence. It is presence without urgency. You let your hand touch the sand beside you. It's warm. You let your mind rest on the sound surrounding you. It's steady. You don't need to go anywhere. You are already there. The ocean has told its first secret. A language not of words, but of waves dot. And as you listen to the last of them, a small splash, a hush, a pause, you begin to wonder, what stories live inside the sand beneath your thoughts? You lie back gently, and the beach welcomes you. It does not push back. It reshapes itself to you, grain by grain, accepting your presence without question. The sand holds no memory of before and no concern for after. Only now you feel. Each grain beneath your fingertips, tiny, weightless, but not meaningless. For what you touch is not just ground. It is time itself, broken down and made soft. This sand, warm beneath your skin, was once a mountain. Once it towered high, pressed upward by ancient forces from deep within the earth. That mountain stood for millions of years, silent, proud, whole. And now it cradles your spine. You roll one grain between your fingers. It sparkles slightly in the sunlight, like powdered glass. This tiny speck could be quartz, the hard remains of a crystal born under pressure, or feldspar, faded pink, from the crust of a forgotten continent. It has traveled far, through rivers, winds, waves, breaking and reshaping with each step of its journey. That journey, like your own, was not rushed. Nature does not hurry. It grinds, it tumbles, it waits, and in that patience, even mountains fall. Your thoughts settle in with the sand. Each one arrives like a pebble, then sinks into the stillness. You are not thinking less. You are thinking slower, wider, deeper. You remember that sand is made not only of rock, but of life. Bits of coral, crushed shells, and even fish bones. The beach is part graveyard, part birthplace. It holds the remains of what once moved, once breathed, once swam through the same ocean, now lapping near your toes. Some grains are older than memory, formed from volcanic eruptions long before humans walked the earth. Others are young, perhaps the shell of a snail that lived last season, now washed ashore, softened, ground down, and folded into the rest. All of it, life, death, stone, brought together here beneath your resting body. The mineral content varies, you know. Different beaches, different sands. Some glow white from coral, others black from basalt. Some shimmer with mica, giving the surface a silver shine. Every beach is a fingerprint. No two are the same. Even this one today will be gone tomorrow. Rearranged by tide, wind, footstep, still it feels solid beneath you. Stable, like the earth itself. But you know the earth shifts too. The continents move. The crust cracks. Even the rocks beneath the sea roll with time. And yet there is comfort in this shifting, because it is slow, because it is natural, because it reminds you that nothing stays the same, and nothing disappears. It only changes form. You press your palm deeper into the sand. It molds around your fingers. And somewhere, perhaps beneath your hand, lies a grain of zircon, a tiny, durable crystal older than any life form. Zircons can be billions of years old, older than dinosaurs, older than oceans. They carry the memory of Earth's beginning, hidden in their chemistry. You pause to feel the age beneath you, not in numbers, but in stillness. This sand is ancient, but it does not boast. It simply is. And what of the stars? You recall something, that the minerals beneath you were not born on Earth. They were forged in stars that lived and died long ago. Explosions scattered heavy elements into space. Those particles drifted, gathered, formed planets, formed this one, formed the rock, the sand, and you. You are made of stardust, resting on stardust. Your bones, your blood, the shore beneath you, all echo the same cosmic beginning. The thought doesn't startle you. It soothes you. It makes the world feel whole. The tide murmurs in the background, and the sun warms your face. The sand cools beneath the surface, and you shift slightly, letting it reshape again to meet you. You watch a few grains fall from your fingers. They bounce, scatter, and disappear among millions. No one will notice where they landed, but they still exist. Nothing is ever truly lost here. You wonder what the sand remembers. Not with a brain, not with thought, but with shape, with journey, with time. You wonder if it feels your weight and knows for a moment that it is holding something soft. And human. A breeze picks up. You see a small dune, its edge blurred slightly by wind. A few grains lift, tumble, land again. This is how mountains fall. This is how islands form. Not with noise, not with fire, but with softness. With time, with patience. And in this realization, you feel something shift inside you too. Not a great change, just a softening. A loosening of thoughts, of tension, of urgency. You imagine your thoughts as grains of sand now, each one distinct, each one able to fall where it may. No need to hold them tightly. The beach will catch them. The wind will carry them. You lie still. The tide continues its slow rhythm. Behind you, the sun leans westward, just a little, and the earth spins gently beneath it all. You are not waiting. You are part of the waiting. And in this quiet, you find peace. You close your eyes, letting the sand hold your shape a little longer. And just as your mind begins to drift again, you wonder, what moves through the air as you breathe in the breeze? The breeze finds you before you seek it. It slips between the leaves and over the sand, curls around your neck and cheeks. It's not a gust, not a push, just a quiet exhale from something greater. You feel it first on your skin, but then you feel it within. You breathe in, not deeply, not deliberately, just enough. And with that single breath, the island enters you. The scent of salt, faint blossoms, the trace of something green. It all arrives together, folded into the wind. And your lungs, like sails, rise gently to meet it. You don't think about breathing. Often, it happens quietly, behind everything else. But now you notice. Each inhale is a wave. Each exhale, a soft return. As you sit up slowly, You feel how your ribs expand outward, like the hull of a boat rising with tide. There's space inside you now where the wind is welcomed in. And in that exchange, that quiet give and take, something changes. You are not just taking in air. You are taking in life. Oxygen, the silent fuel, drifts into your lungs. It slips through the bronchi, the branching trees of breath inside you, until it reaches the alveoli, tiny, delicate, balloons tucked deep within. And there, it crosses into your blood. There, the real magic begins. Your body doesn't force the oxygen in. It invites it. The oxygen follows a gradient, like a tide drawn toward quiet, empty spaces. Where there's less of it, it flows. This is diffusion, a soft balancing of energy, no effort needed. Just as a drop of dye spreads through water without stirring, the oxygen spreads through you without a push. Effortless, natural, kind. Your red blood cells are ready. Each one carries a protein called hemoglobin, like tiny boats waiting in the harbor. As oxygen arrives, they gather it, bind to it, and carry it off to where it's needed most, your fingertips, your eyelids, even your smallest thoughts. And as the oxygen leaves your lungs, carbon dioxide returns, a gentle farewell. You breathe it out without fear. It is not a waste. It is simply what no longer serves you. The trees, you notice, do the opposite. As you exhale carbon dioxide, they receive it like a gift. And in return, they offer you oxygen again. You and the island are trading breath. You and the wind and the leaves, all part of the same slow, ancient conversation. Your breath is not just for survival. It's a rhythm, a language, a lullaby for the cells within you. Each inhale reminds your nervous system that you are safe. Each exhale tells your heart it can slow. The longer the breath, the deeper the rest. You lie back again and close your eyes. The canopy above you sways just slightly, casting slow-moving shadows across your chest. It's as if the light is breathing with you, too. You listen more closely now. There's the faint rustle of palm fronds, the occasional whisper of wind against bark, and underneath it all, the soft sound of your breath, in, pause, out, are not alone in this rhythm. Every creature on this island breathes. The birds overhead, the insects burrowed in sand, the geckos clinging to bark, invisible in the shade. Each one inhales the same air. Each one adds something back. The air is always changing, always shared. You wonder where the molecules in your next breath have been. Perhaps inside a passing bird, perhaps beneath the sea, perhaps in a cloud floating above a distant place you've never known. Air moves across the world without passport or plan. It flows from forest to desert, from city to mountain. And here, on this quiet island, it finds you. It is not still, though it feels still. The air is always moving, rising as it warms, sinking as it cools. This is convection. It creates wind. It carries scent. It helps the island breathe, and so do you. Your diaphragm, the quiet muscle beneath your lungs, lifts and lowers like the tide. When you breathe in, it flattens, drawing air inward. When you breathe out, it rises again, pushing air gently. Away, you don't command it. You allow it. Even when you sleep, this dance continues. Even when you dream, your lungs remember the rhythm. You place your hand on your chest. You feel it rise. You feel it fall. The breath doesn't come from effort. It comes from need. And from trust. The island trusts the breeze to return. You trust your lungs to fill again. Sometimes, when your mind is full or your heart is heavy, breathing becomes short, shallow, tight. But here, now it stretches again, like a long-forgotten muscle, easing back into its range. And the more you breathe, the more space you feel inside. Not just in your chest, but in your thoughts. There is room for quiet now. Room for calm. That you think of the word inspiration. It means both to breathe in and to be moved. Perhaps they are the same. Perhaps every breath is a chance. To be moved, to be reminded that you are alive. The trees above release their own breath slowly, not in seconds, but in hours. They open tiny pores on their leaves and let water rise, gas escape, sunlight soak in. They, too, are always exchanging, not only taking, but giving. You open your eyes. The sky between the leaves is pale blue. A few wisps of cloud drift lazily. You feel yourself float, not upward, but inward. Not because you've moved, but because you've made room. Breathing is not only for survival. It is a return to body, to now, to peace. You feel the breeze pass again, across your arms, your face. It brushes the edge of thoughts, and then it moves on, but you remain. Lighter, softer, still. And as you exhale once more, your breath meets the islands, and you begin to wonder what stories are carried in the salt that rests gently on your skin. You feel it before you see it, a fine, invisible layer on your skin, not heavy, not cold, just a trace. The ocean leaves something behind. Salt. It rests in the tiny creases of your elbow. It sparkles lightly on your arms where the sun warmed. The tide that touched you. You press your fingers together and feel the faint grit. You raise them to your lips. The taste is sharp, ancient, strangely familiar. This salt is not just from today's water. It is the sea's fingerprint, carried through every wave, every tide, every storm. A signature that has barely changed since life began. You let your hand fall back to your side. You are not in the ocean anymore, but it remains on you. It lingers. Salt doesn't vanish with the wave. It stays. And somewhere, deeper than your skin, it has always been there. Your blood is a quiet mirror, a gentle echo of the sea, not just metaphorically, but chemically. Inside you, the plasma of your blood carries the same sodium, chloride, potassium, and calcium ions found in seawater. The same elements that coat the rocks at low tide flow. Silently through your veins, your body knows the ocean. Even if you've never stepped in it, you carry its memory in every heartbeat. You feel the salt tightening on your skin now, a soft pull, almost imperceptible. The sun dries what the wave left behind, and the salt grows visible, crystalline, bright. This is the nature of osmosis, a quiet negotiation between water and salt. Water moves towards salt, always seeking balance. It flows across membranes, across skin, across cells, not with violence, but with intention. It is how your cells drink, how they balance, how they breathe and rest and live. Inside you, every cell is a small ocean, held by a soft, intelligent wall. That wall knows what to let in, what to let go. And salt is the compass. Not too much, not too little, just enough to keep the tides of your body moving smoothly. Even tears carry salt. They wash your eyes the same way rain rinses the sky, and sweat, too, is laced with the ocean's trace. A reminder that when you move, when you release, you are returning a little part of yourself to where it began. You sit by a tide pool now, a shallow mirror warmed by sun and cooled by breeze. Tiny fish dart through it, and bits of seaweed sway slowly like underwater curtains. You reach out and touch the surface. It ripples gently. Your reflection wavers, but the salt remains. Even when the water shifts, the salt holds its ground. This is what gives the ocean weight, what gives it flavor, what gives it life. Without salt, water would be silent. With it, everything changes. It allows electricity to flow, not just in machines, but in you. Every nerve signal, every heartbeat, every blink is powered by sodium and potassium ions shifting across the walls of your cells. You are not just wet with ocean water. You are charged with it. A walking wave, a soft storm of tiny currents, a living balance of salt and flow. You close your eyes. The breeze brushes your cheeks. You feel the crystals on your forehead, along your collarbone. They are not foreign. They are familiar. Even the stars, those distant fires above, contributed to the salt you now feel. Long ago, when stars died, they scattered their elements, not just light and heat, but calcium, magnesium, iron, sodium. The ingredients of oceans. The ingredients of you. You are, quite literally, stardust that learned to breathe seawater. And now you. Breathe air. But inside, your chemistry remembers. This is why the sea calms you. Why salt water feels like medicine. Why the smell of the ocean softens your muscles before you even touch it. It is home. A home so old your bones remember it even when your mind forgets. The tide shifts again, a gentle lap against the rocks. You look down at your arms once more. See the glint of dried salt under the sun. Not decoration. Not dirt, but a reminder that you are never separate from the ocean. Not truly. Its waters pass through you, again and again, in blood, in breath, in mirth, in tears. You inhale, and the air is heavy with brine. You exhale, and your body offers something back. The exchange never ends. And now you begin to wonder, if salt can carry memory, what burns quietly beneath the land that holds this island together? The beach begins to change beneath your feet. The sand thins, giving way to firmer ground, darker, heavier, ancient. You step carefully over jagged stone, cooled long ago, but still shaped by fire. These are not just rocks. They are pieces of the earth's memory. You pause to touch one. It is rough and pitted, as if once bubbling from within. And it was. This is volcanic rock, or not in silence, but in a world of flame and pressure. A moment frozen in stone. You sit for a while, letting your fingers explore the ridges and crevices. You feel the contrast between now and then, the stillness of this moment, and the eruption that birthed it. The land beneath you was not always calm. It rose from heat. This island, peaceful, green, and breezy, began in violence. A rupture, an opening, a release. Beneath the waves, far below the shimmering surface, the earth cracked open. Magma surged upward from the mantle, molten and wild, and when it reached the sea, it cooled into rock. It didn't happen all at once. Islands grow slowly, layer upon layer, eruption upon eruption, like thoughts stacking in the quiet mind. What you walk on now is cooled lava rock formed fire meeting water. Each new flow added weight, shape, surface. Eventually, mountain grew tall enough to rise above the sea. That mountain is this island, a volcano, now asleep, but not gone. Only resting. You close your eyes. For a moment, you imagine the heat that still simmers far below. Not the surface warmth of the sun, but the deep, pressurized fire of Earth's core. The Earth is not cold inside. Its heart is molten, a slow, glowing churn of iron and rock. It moves constantly, even if you do not feel it. This movement is the breath of the planet. Tectonic plates, vast slabs of Earth's crust, float on this molten mantle. They shift, they collide, they pull apart. And in these movements, islands are born. Your island may lie on a hot spot, a place where magma pushes through a thinning in the crust, like steam through a crack in a kettle. Or it may rest on the edge of two colliding plates, where pressure builds until it must be released. Either way, the land you sit on is the child of that fire. You stand and begin to walk along a trail of black rock, smooth in places, sharp in others. Plants grow. Here, cautiously. Thin grasses, small ferns, bits of moss. Life always returns, even after the burn. You spot a place where the rock is glassy, obsidian, formed when lava cools so fast it doesn't have time to become stone. It shines in the sun, reflecting light like water, as if remembering what? It once flowed like, you kneel, pick up a piece, and turn it in your hand. It is cool now, still, but inside it holds a frozen moment of transformation. This is what volcanoes do. They change the shape of the earth. They erase and they create. Destruction is not the end. It is a beginning not far below your feet. The mantle stirs, not in chaos, but in cycles. Heat rises. Pressure builds. Sometimes it finds a way out. Other times, it waits. Even a dormant volcano breathes. Slowly, deeply, in ways that take centuries. You walk farther inland now, where the trees grow taller, the soil richer. This soil was born from ash, from crumbled rock and minerals returned. To the surface, volcanic soil is among the most fertile on Earth. It feeds jungles, farms, orchards. Out of fire comes fruit. Out of ash, abundance. You pluck a small fruit from a low tree and feel its weight in your hand. Sweetness born from stone. Life carried upward by fire, nurtured by rain, and ripened by sun. You sit again, watching steam rise faintly from a crack nearby. It's subtle, but it's there. A reminder that beneath all of this peace, something powerful remains. Not threatening. Not angry, just alive. Just waiting. You place your hand on the warm rock beside you, and you imagine the earth below, layer after layer, from soil to crust to mantle. A planet built from pressure and release. From balance and burn, you are. Not separate from this system. You are part of it. Made from it, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the magnesium in your muscles, all forged in the heart of stars, and reshaped by the earth's own molten hands. You carry this fire too, not as flame, but as heat, as warmth in your chest, as spark behind your eyes. You breathe in. The air smells of stone and green things growing. You breathe out, and the island exhales with you. The breeze returns, soft against your face. It feels different now. Not just wind, but the sigh of land and sea, sky and core, all turning slowly beneath the stars. And you begin to wonder, if this fire built the island beneath your feet, what else has drifted across time to arrive here, weathered, worn, and quietly waiting to be remembered? You spot it just beyond your foot, a pale piece of driftwood, resting as if asleep, not large, not heavy, but weathered, softened, shaped by its journey. It lies there, sun-bleached and silent, as if waiting to be remembered. You reach for it gently, fingers brushing its surface. It feels smooth, not polished, not carved, but worn down by time, by waves, by salt, by distance. You lift it. It carries no weight, but it carries a story. A journey through rivers and tides, from forests you've never seen to shores you now call home. You wonder where it began. Which tree let it go? Which current pulled it forward? Which storm tossed it into this long drifting path? It doesn't remember in words, but in shape. Each curve and hollow holds a quiet history, not told, only felt. And as you hold it, you begin to feel the same way about your thoughts. They too drift. Your memories are not fixed. They float. They soften over time, shaped not just by what happened, but by how you remember it. Your mind is not a filing cabinet with drawers and labels. It is more like water, more like tide, always moving, always changing shape. You look out over the sea. The water seems still now, but you know it moves beneath the surface. Like thought, like memory inside your brain. The hippocampus rests, a seahorse-shaped structure deep within, curved and curled like driftwood itself. It does not store memory like a shelf. It guides it, forms it, retrieves it, like a harbor that welcomes incoming ships. Your hippocampus receives experience and slowly anchors it into something you can carry. But not all at once. Not forever. Memories, like driftwood, change with time. You lie back on the sand, the driftwood beside you, like a quiet companion. You close your eyes, and in that quiet, your mind begins to wander. It doesn't go far, just enough to feel how thought moves. Not in straight lines, but in loops, in spirals, in gentle waves. You remember a scent, perhaps jasmine in the evening breeze. You remember a sound, a bell in the distance, or a voice from long ago, and then it's gone. Not lost, just floating onward. This is memory. Not a photograph, but a river. Not a lockbox, but a tide pool. Sometimes things come back. Other times, they drift just out of reach, and that's okay, because your mind, like the sea, holds more than it reveals. Even forgotten memories leave behind their shape, like driftwood that carries the curve of a tree long gone. Neurons reach out to one another, tiny branches, growing, reconnecting. Plasticity, they call it, but it feels more like renewal. Your brain changes every time you remember something. Memories are not fixed. They are living, reshaped each time they surface. You picture your thoughts like small boats, moving from shore to shore within you. Some are tethered, some are adrift, and some have never docked before, yet all of them matter. Even the faintest, even the ones you can't name, because they carry emotion. They carry meaning. They shape how you feel, even if you don't know why. You feel the sand beneath your body, warm and grounding. The driftwood rests near your side. Its stillness is soothing. Its journey, a quiet echo of your own. You breathe in deeply. Somewhere, inside, new neurons are forming connections. Memories are anchoring. Emotions are settling. You remember how the brain doesn't just record, it rewires. Like roots growing through soil, your thoughts reshape themselves depending on where your attention flows. So tonight, as you rest, you allow your attention to drift gently. Like the wood beside you. No rush, no pressure, only gentle motion. You recall that the sea doesn't ask the driftwood where it's been. It simply receives it. And perhaps your mind can do the same. Not holding on tightly, not forcing clarity, just letting thoughts come and letting them go. You place the driftwood back where you found it. A small offering to the tide. A recognition that not everything needs to be understood to be appreciated. The breeze shifts. Gull cries in the distance. The clouds move slowly above you, their shadows sweeping over the sand like thoughts passing. Through awareness. You feel no urgency to hold anything in place. Only gratitude that it passed through you, that it shaped you, even in silence. And as your mind begins to still, you wonder quietly, if a shell can hold the sound of the sea, what soft spiral stories are hidden within its silent curves. You find it nestled in the sand, a soft pink shell, still damp from the tide, not large, but whole. Smooth on one side, rippled on the other, its spiral curling in like a secret whispered to itself. You brush it off gently. Grains of sand cling to its grooves. You lift it to your ear, slowly, like a ritual. And there it is, a sound that isn't sound at all. Hush. A hum. A memory of the ocean, even though the water has long pulled away. Of course, you know it's not the sea you hear. It's the movement of air inside the shell, the shape amplifying the smallest sounds around you. Your breath, the wind, the rustling leaves. But it feels like more. Like the shell carries a memory too, not of noise, but of structure. Of form, of pattern. You turn the shell over in your palm. Its spiral continues, smaller and smaller, disappearing inward like a dream you can almost follow. The curve isn't random. It follows a rhythm, a hidden logic written by nature's quiet hand. This is where math lives, not on paper, but in the softness of a shell, the swirl of a galaxy, the petal of a flower. You've seen it before, even if you didn't know the name, the golden spiral, the Fibonacci sequence, an unfolding pattern that shows up everywhere, not because it was designed, but because it works. In this sequence, each number is the sum of the two before it. 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. A growing rhythm that spirals outward, never repeating, never breaking. And yet, it feels natural, familiar, soothing, as if the universe prefers this way of growing. The shell in your hand grew like this, not by planning, but by following what felt right for its cells. A slow, steady build that matched the flow of life. You look around. You see it everywhere now. In the spiraled arrangement of seeds in a sunflower, in the swirl of a snail's shell, in the coiled tail of a fern before it opens. Each one echoes the same silent song. Each one a variation on a theme. The term is fractal, a pattern that repeats within itself. Small parts that mirror the whole. You see this in trees, in river branches, in your own lungs. The bronchi divide again and again, smaller and smaller, like branches, like roots, like spirals turning inward. It is not just beauty. It is efficiency. It's how nature fills space, without waste, how energy moves smoothly, how breath reaches the farthest cells. Even your heartbeat follows rhythms found in fractals. Even your thoughts, when relaxed, mirror wave-like patterns, steady, layered, unfolding. You lie back now, the shell resting on your chest. You feel its coolness, and beneath it, your own spiral rhythms. Inhale, pause, exhale. Inside your brain, neurons branch like trees. Their growth, too, follows these same principles, not random, not chaotic, but quietly ordered, softly patterned. When you sleep, your brain doesn't shut off. It drifts into waves, slow, low frequencies that ripple across your mind like tide, against the shore. And as it does, it files and rewires. It remembers through rhythm. It restores through symmetry. You're reminded that even dreams have spirals. Not in shape, but in motion. They loop, they drift, they turn back and shift again. And maybe that's why this shell feels so calming, because its shape matches your rhythm. Its spiral is a mirror of something already inside you. You bring the shell back to your ear. The soft hum returns. You wonder if it always sounded this way, or if your own stillness shapes what you hear. Because that's what the brain does. It finds patterns. It builds meaning. Even when it sleeps, you imagine the shell when it was new, tiny, fresh, carried by a creature that once called it home. It didn't know what it was building. It simply followed its nature, one layer at a time. And so do you. Each experience, each moment, a new spiral added to the shape of you. Not perfect, not always visible. But there, you open your hand. The shell glows faintly in the fading sun. Its ridges cast gentle shadows. It feels heavier now, not in weight, but in meaning. You think of how the Fibonacci pattern begins so simply. 1, 1. A single moment, repeated. And from that repetition, everything unfolds. Just like breath, just like waves, just like the days that lead into dreams. You place the shell gently back in the sand. Its curve still visible, still infinite. Even as it rests, the breeze returns, soft, patient. It brushes your cheek, moves a strand of hair, and seems to whisper, there are spirals in the tides, 2. And so, You begin to wonder, if the moon can move oceans, what secret tides does it pull within you? Night has arrived gently. No sudden darkness, only a soft fading, like a candle slowly letting go. You walk to the shoreline, and the light has changed. The world now glows in shades of blue and silver dot above the horizon. The moon climbs slowly, round and radiant, as if it too had been resting all day, and is only now beginning to breathe. Its reflection shimmers across the ocean, a quiet path of light, not straight, but trembling with movement. You pause there, where the tide kisses. The sand. The water has crept higher since earlier. It's rising. Not loudly, not suddenly, but certainly. The moon is not just watching. It is pulling. And the ocean responds, not with resistance, but with grace. This is the tide. The earth's great. Breath. Inhale. The water rises. Exhale. The water falls. You close your eyes, feeling the water sweep closer to your toes. This movement is not just water and wind. It is gravity stretched across space, an invisible thread connecting you to the moon. The moon's pull is gentle, but relentless. Its gravity tugs at the oceans, drawing them toward it, not just on the side facing the moon, but on the far side too, where the earth pulls slightly away. And so, two bulges form, two high tides, and between them, low. The earth spins through. These bulges, and every coast on every shore feels the rise and fall. Every 6 hours or so, the rhythm shifts. High tide, low tide. Repeat. You open your eyes. The moon hangs overhead, quiet but commanding. Its pull does not roar. It whispers. And still, the sea answers. And so do you. Because you, too, are mostly water. Because your body is not separate from this rhythm. It participates. Somewhere. Within, your cells notice the moon. Maybe it's in your hormones. Maybe in your sleep. Maybe in your dreams. Biology has always been rhythmic. Your heart, your lungs, your sleep. All guided by cycles. And among these cycles, some are lunar. It's called chronobiology, the study of your internal clocks. Not just the daily clock of waking and sleeping, but the monthly, the seasonal, the tidal. You breathe in deeply. The salt air feels heavier now, not thick, but charged with presence. The kind of stillness that carries sound farther, that makes you whisper without knowing why. For centuries, people have felt it. The way the moon changes the world, even if we can't always name how. Some animals know more clearly. Crabs scuttle according to tides. Coral release their spawn in tune with full moons. Sea turtles return to the same beaches, timed with moonlight and memory. Even flowers sometimes open by its glow. And humans have always watched the moon, marked time by its phases, measured months by its face. Women's cycles often mirror its rhythm. And many sleepers like you feel something stir when the moon is full. It may be brightness. It may be gravity. It may be something quieter. A tug not on skin, but on spirit. You don't need to understand it completely. You only need to feel it. Tonight, you feel it. Your breath slows, mirroring the waves. Your thoughts soften, mirroring the moon. And within your brain, chemical shifts begin to unfold. Melatonin, the hormone that welcomes sleep, rises with the darkness. But even melatonin can be shaped by light, not just sunlight, but moonlight. 2. You sit by the tide now, just where the foam reaches and retreats. The sand beneath you is cool, and the sky above, wide and patient. You wonder, if the moon can move oceans, what does it move in you? Perhaps it's the rhythm of letting go, of slowing down, of drawing inward, like the sea does each night. Not everything must be bright and active. Some parts of life, the most vital parts, happen in the quiet curve of night. You place your Hand in the wet sand, it holds you. The tide laps softly at your side. The moon glows higher now, no longer rising. Simply being, you glance back at the water. It is rising still, not fast, not loud, but true. And you, too, rise with it, just a little, your chest lifting, your thoughts clearing, your body remembering what it is to be pulled without fear. You are not drifting. You are a lining dot like the ocean. You respond to distant things. You are a being of tides, a being of light and shadow, a being who breathes to rhythms older than thought. And now, as the tide touches your ankles, you wonder, if the moon can guide the sea, what guides the trees in their stillness as they wait? Beneath the stars, you find a place where the trees lean gently inward, forming a canopy of calm. The palms stand tall and patient, their fronds stretching wide like open hands offering shade. You lie down beneath them. The ground is warm but soft, and the breeze makes the leaves above you tremble. Sunlight filters through, not in beams, but in soft patches, dancing shadows on your skin. You let your gaze follow the movement of light. A slow flicker, a passing shimmer, as if the leaves above you are breathing. And in some way, they are. Every leaf you see is more than decoration. It is alive with quiet purpose. Every green cell, every swaying stem is gathering light and turning it into something you can't see, but can feel. Photosynthesis. The quiet miracle of plants. The sun sends its light across millions of miles. And here, beneath this palm, that light becomes sugar, becomes energy, becomes life. Inside each leaf, tiny cells contain chlorophyll, a green pigment that does more than color. It captures sunlight, holds it, and begins a transformation. Carbon dioxide enters through the stomata, small invisible pores that open and close like sighs. Water rises from the roots, drawn up through long vessels. And in that moment, that stillness, light and matter meet. You breathe out carbon dioxide. The tree breathes it in. The tree gives out oxygen. You breathe it in. It is not a transaction. It is a relationship. One you've always been part of. You place your hand on your chest. Feel the gentle rise and fall. Then let your hand drift into. A beam of dappled sun. Your skin warms. The tree feeds. All around you. Energy is changing form. Not with sound or flame, but with stillness. With grace. You watch a single leaf sway slightly. Its edges glow where the light touches, its underside soft in shadow. You think of how light enters you too, through your eyes, through your skin, through your rhythms. Sunlight helps set your body's internal clock, your circadian rhythm. Your brain uses light to decide when to sleep, when to wake, when to dream. And here beneath the tree, you feel that clock slowing, settling, aligning. Tree doesn't sleep in the way you do, but it does rest. It follows the sun. Its cells change pace in the dark. Its pores close. Its chemistry shifts. Even plants know when to pause. Even trees know when to rest. And so do you. The shade here is not empty. It is filled with life. With tiny particles of light bouncing from leaf to leaf, with chemical reactions humming silently in green tissue. You think of the word dappled. It feels soft, like the light it describes. There's something healing in that flickering pattern, something ancient. You remember being small, watching shadows ripple on a wall, feeling safe without knowing why. Perhaps it's the pattern your eyes recognize, chaotic but comforting. Predictable, yet never the same. Fractals live here, too, in the way the branches split, in the symmetry of the leaves, in the repetition that never repeats exactly. Nature loves pattern, but it never demands perfection. The light shifts again. You see a bird pass between branches. Its shadow glides across your legs, then disappears. Even that shadow feeds the ground. Even that passing coolness affects the rhythm of leaves, because shadows slow evaporation. They lower the heat. They change how much water escapes the leaf's pores. This, too, is balance. Too much sun, and the tree burns. Too little, and it starves. So it moves, ever so slightly. Its leaves tilt. Its pores adjust. You lie still beneath. It grateful for its patience. The breeze picks up again. The leaves above you shiver. More light slips through, then settles again. You think of how you, too, adjust to light, to shadow, to change. Your skin warms and cools. Your eyes adjust to brightness. Your mood rises and softens with the sun. Sunlight triggers your body to produce serotonin, a chemical that lifts mood, that brings wakefulness. And when the light fades, your brain begins to build melatonin, the hormone of rest. You feel it. Now, not sleepiness, but readiness. A gentle leaning toward stillness. The trees have no clocks, no alarms, no deadlines. Yet they know when to bloom, when to grow, when to let go. You close your eyes. The light behind your lids is orange, then fades to gray. You imagine the leaves above still swaying, still catching light, still dancing with air and time. Even now, the tree is breathing, and so are you. A thought drifts gently into your mind, not loud, not urgent. You wonder, if light can feed leaves, can it feed dreams too? The sky above you has deepened into velvet. It no longer glows, but hums softly with 1,000 scattered stars. Their light is distant, quiet, ancient. Not piercing, but comforting, like candles in the windows of faraway homes. You stand near. The shoreline once more. The day has faded completely, and the ocean is darker now, more reflective, more inward. Its waves have slowed. Not gone, just hushed. They lap at the sand like a lullaby, the same rhythm again and again, as if the sea itself is ready to sleep. You walk to where the water meets the land. The tide, now retreating, draws long sighs into the night, and you follow slowly until the water touches your feet. It is cooler now. Not cold, just enough to notice. Just enough to remind you. Your body, too, is shifting. You lie down in the soft curve of the shore, where the sand is damp and the air smells of salt, memory, and moonlight. The ocean is close now. A presence, not a place. Your eyes begin to close, not from effort, but because there is nothing left to hold them open. The day has finished its story. Now, night begins to tell its own. Your body, once warmed by sun and light, begins to cool gently. And with that cooling, your mind prepares for sleep. This is no coincidence. It is design. When your core temperature drops, your brain receives the signal. It is time to rest. And here, by the sea, the breeze makes that cooling effortless. Your skin welcomes the air. Your heart slows. Your muscles loosen. You are not falling asleep. You are returning to it, like the tide returning to sea. Within you, a symphony of systems begins to shift. Melatonin rises in the bloodstream, guiding the body toward stillness. Brain waves begin to slow, first into alpha, then into theta. As your awareness softens like mist over water. You are drifting not away, but inward. Stage 1 of sleep arrives. A light sleep, the border between wakefulness and dreaming. You may still feel the ocean, still hear it, but it begins to blur. Then comes stage 2, where your body grows heavier, your heart beats steadier, your thoughts less like words and more like shapes. Tiny bursts of electrical activity flicker in your brain, sleep spindles. They protect your slumber, guarding it from noise, from interruption. The ocean continues its lullaby. In, pause, out. And so do you. You move into deeper sleep now. Stage 3. This is where your body repairs, where tissue heals, where growth happens. Your muscles are relaxed, your breathing slow and rhythmic. If you were to wake now, you would feel disoriented because your mind has traveled far, even if your body has not moved at all. And then, after this stillness, something new begins. Your eyes, though closed, begin to shift rapidly, side to side. Your heart rate rises, your brain lights up, and dreams begin. A REM sleep, the final stage. The one where the story continues without logic, but not without meaning. Your brain becomes more active, almost as if you are awake, but you remain at rest. Your body still, your mind in motion. You dream that, and though you won't remember it all, your dreams reshape your waking life. They organize your thoughts, soften your memories, heal your emotions. The ocean carries you through all of it, not physically, but rhythmically. The sound of waves helps synchronize your sleep cycles. Their tempo, slow and repetitive, mirrors the patterns your brain seeks during rest. This is why ocean sounds soothe. They match the mind's own desire for balance. They allow your brain to find its rhythm, to return to itself. You lie still now. The sand shapes itself to your body. The stars turn slowly above you. The moon, half hidden behind a soft veil of clouds, watches in silence. You are no longer on the island. You are part of it, no longer observing the waves, but floating in there. Tempo, no longer seeking peace, but wrapped in it. You may not feel the exact moment you fall asleep. It is not a line you cross, but a tide you surrender to. And this, too, is nature. As real as tides, as ancient as stars, you breathe. You rest. You drift. And now, as sleep begins to hold you, you wonder, what is waiting in the morning light, just beyond this dream? And now, as our story gently fades, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this moment with me. Your presence here means the world, and your support helps me create even more peaceful journeys. Just for you. If this helped you rest, please consider liking, subscribing, or simply coming back tomorrow night. Until then, stay cozy, stay kind, and may your dreams tonight be soft, serene, and full of wonder. Good night, my friend. With warmth, David.